We're installing the roller lifters, and if you need a part number, here's a part number for a replacement one if you're interested. I ended up buying at least 6 new ones because when I was taking these apart and cleaning them up, putting them back together, I found some problems with a couple of them. What had happened in my case was the way the engine was sitting. Some of them were kind of seized or wore because they were stuck in that one position for a long time. So I ended up getting a couple replacements, but basically all you have to do is take these apart, clean them up, put them back together. We want to lubricate this really well. So we want to lubricate here and the roller as well. I'm using this camshaft lube. It's a little more sticky and tacky, and I think it's a good choice for installation on these things here. So we'll lubricate those, and then you'll put it in the bore. And when you put it in the bore, you want this weep hole, this bleed hole here, you want it facing up. If you choose to charge the lifter before you install it, and that is by lubricating it, I'm going to use this lubricator here, and that's going to be engine oil, and I'm just going to squirt that in there. And as the same reason that this weep hole is at the top, is you're going to have this at the top, and we put the oil in there, and it's going to bleed all the air out. You'll see the air bubbles come out. If I had 2 hands, I'd be operating that for you so you could see it. But if you give 2 really good slow squeezes on there, this is going to charge the lifter, and it's going to push the air out of the lifter to the top where that weep hole is. Now, after you've installed both your lifters in with the weep hole at the top, and if you've chosen to charge it with oil, you don't have to. Some people do, some people don't. That's a personal decision to make. I feel personally, if you have a hydraulic system, it's probably good practice to prime it and get all the air out of it when you're installing it. But again, some people do not prime up the lifters. They just put them in dry, and then they allow it to do its thing when they start the engine. After you've installed your 2 lifters in there, you'll see these flats on there, and this is your dog bone right here. So weep hole to the top. You're going to slide that in. Both those going to have the holes to the top, and then you're going to use this dog bone, and you're going to secure that. Make sure that this is sliding free. Make sure that this is sliding free as well. When you put that in there, you don't want no sticky spots in there, nothing like that. And once you've got all of them lubricated and installed with the dog bones on there, then the last thing we do is we put the spider down to hold everything in place. This is the spider. It's got 8 fingers on there. You just take it, you put it down, and it doesn't matter. You can go either way. And you see that space there? Well, that's where this acts as a spring. So you got to push this down, and you got to start your bolts in there. And then once you get them started and you tighten all 3 of those bolts down, that's going to be the spring and the friction force that holds all these dog bones in place so that they're not going to come out. That's going to be a 5/16 diameter, 1/2 inch socket. I'm going to rattle them tight with my electric impact, but if you want to torque them down, that should be about 20 foot-pounds. Installing the cylinder heads for the final time here, what we want to do is make sure that all of our bolt holes are clean, so get some compressed air, blow those all clean, make sure that both gasket surfaces are going to be clean, so clean the one on the block, clean the one on the head, everything is clean, ready to be assembled. I'm just using a factory gasket on this build, and here's a part number for anyone who's interested. We want to make sure that we've cleaned all of our bolts really well and they're ready to be installed. I'm going to use this Molykote anti-seize on the threads for my build. Sometimes people just lubricate them with engine oil or something just to lubricate them a little bit when you're installing them. And then in the torque wrench there in the back where it's a 2-stage torque process here, we're going to go 50 pounds for the first stage and 105 for the second stage. When we install the head on here, there's going to be 2 pins. There's going to be a pin here and a pin there. Those locating pins will help you hold the head in place while you put the bolts in. All the holes are cleaned. We're going to put the new bolts in with our Molykote anti-seize. They should spin in by hand. Once those are all in by hand, then we're going to go over it with the torque wrench. And I just always use the same torque pattern every time rebuilding an engine. I'm going to start with our center here, and then I'm just going to go in a clockwise spiral pattern. Start from the bottom, top, here, 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 and here. And I'm going to continue to do that until we don't have any movement left on the socket when we're torquing that down. After cleaning all the surfaces there, we put the gasket on. Here's our pins here. We got a pin there and we got a pin there. That's going to hold our gasket on. That's also going to hold the head on when we put that on there and help hold it there while we put the bolts in. Now that we've got the gasket on, we'll put the head on, put the bolts on, and torque it down. Assembling the rocker arms here, and the first thing we want to do is we want to put our push rods in. So we'll line all the push rods up with all of the lifters in the bottom there. You see in there's holes in the gasket that's going to guide those push rods. Double check, make sure they're all clean and clear. Compressed air, look up the light in the roof, make sure you can see the light through the end there. Everything's all clean, installed. Set those in, line them up with the lifters down there. And when we install our rockers, we're going to line them in the pockets there, have everything all lined up. I kind of hold and guide the push rod as I'm snugging down the bolts here, just to make sure everything stays lined up and where it's supposed to be. We've got our rocker arms here. We've sandblasted them, cleaned them up. It's the best method that I could use to try and clean up all them little nooks and crannies inside there. Pretty hard to get. And then if you want, you can use a blue thread locker on the bolts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that electric impact. I'm going to snug them down with that, and then I'm going to follow that up by torquing them to 20 foot-pounds. So that's a 5/16 diameter on the fastener, half-inch socket for the head. Should be about 20 foot-pounds torque. Finished installing the roller rockers, and now we can temporarily just put the tappet covers on there for the time being as we work on some other stuff. Here's the tappet covers for this engine rebuild, and what we're doing is we're removing that inner tray right there. In my case, what I feel is that there's no guarantee that you're going to get that truly clean underneath inside there. Here's where the factory tray is in there, and I don't know what you're going to put inside there and try and flush and clean this out, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove it entirely. So there's going to be a series of spot welds along the side here, and I just go in with a chisel and I'm just going to work around that metal and break off those spot welds. And there you can see where I was working that and breaking it off all the way along both sides. And once you do that, then that tray should pull right out of there. And now you can see underneath what it looks like underneath that tray. I don't think that you're going to get that clean without removing it. So I'm going to remove it. I'm going to clean this all up, get it prepped and ready to go for assembly. Now we have both of those trays removed, and if we take a look in this one here, you can see that buildup in there. That's what it looked like in the other one, and that's what it looks like in this one. And it's going to take some work, even with those trays removed, to get all that clean. Here's the tappet covers after we removed those trays and cleaned everything up inside. I used a sandblaster to clean that up, but that's not necessarily what you need. Whatever you can do to clean it up, get some Scotch-Brite and some cleaner and clean it up real good. As far as the outside goes on here, that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm just going to clean it up as good as I can without entirely removing all the paint on there. And then when you assemble the engine, you want to paint it all one color. You could scuff that up with some sandpaper and then paint it whatever color you choose to match everything else. Here we come up with another idea that we're playing around with, and that's going to be related to kind of like cleaning up and organizing the routing of your spark plug wires. I just got a couple pieces of rough cut aluminum here. They're the same size. And then I'm going to stack those together. I'm going to drill 2 holes to hold that together. Then on the side here, what I'll do is I'll drill a series of holes. Here we have a finished piece right here. So again, this was a through hole with a 1/4 inch. These are 1/4 inch bolts holding it together. And then I marked out where I wanted to put these holes here. Those are going to be a 5/16, which should be the same diameter of your spark plug wires. And then you can put these anywhere you want on the tappet cover here. So I measured mine to go on those 2 ridges here. So the center of these 2 ridges. What I would do is on the inside, I would mark and drill my holes on the inside here. And then I would use bolts, and then I would tack the bolt head to the inside of the tappet cover, and then the studs would show through the top, and then you would assemble it from the top. And then on the top here, you would assemble this anywhere you want. You can have it all along the top. You can put it on the side in any configuration that you want. Build a few more of these, find out how we want to route our spark plug wires in the future here. It'll just clean it up and keep it organized underneath the hood there.